Okay, good morning. So the next assignment and our first assignment in Dreamweaver is going to be called Things I Love. Very simple one-page website. Um, we're going to start inserting placeholders for our stuff. You can actually see there's little boxes around all this stuff. So we'll be starting to do that today. All right, so when I cut you loose, you'll go File, New, HTML, double click it, and this is the screen you'll see. You can go all code view, you can go split view, which give you some underneath or above, one or the other. Live view we don't use very much. Anyway, notice that it starts off giving you some of the code. So the first thing we're going to do is put our cursor in the body tag after the Y in the open body, closed body. Actually, by the way, before we do that, you need to create a site. You go Site, New Site. You're going to call it Things. And then you're going to dig in and put it in the folder that you just copied from Class Share. So you dig in here, you'll go, yours will be in your student folder, yada, yada, yada. You'll hit select folder. When you get to the right spot, I'll go back to mine. So here's the folder I want to work out of. I hit select, and it'll pop in up here into my files. So if you can't see your files, this is what should be there. If you can't see them, you go Window, and then Files. So here's the files that I gave you. All right, now we're ready to start. So I put the cursor after the Y in the open body tag. I hit spacebar, BG color. I click it once. Notice it puts it in the code in for me, and it's waiting for me to pick a color. And here's my background that just changed to that color. Okay, the other thing I want to do is put the cursor after the quotation mark, spacebar, type in LE, left margin 425. At that point, I'm going outside the caret, and I'm going to hit enter twice so I can carry on. So we need to insert the little boxes that go on here. So if we come up here to our menu bar, oh, there's an insert table. We're going to get this dialog box. The first one's going to be one row, one column, 1,000 pixels wide, 1, 1, and 1 in the border thickness, cell padding, and cell spacing. Cell padding is inside the cell, cell spacing is outside the cell. Then you go down to the header section, it just gives you different options. You want the header on the left, or the both, or just the top. Header, it automatically centers stuff. So hit OK. And notice we now have a table installed, and it put in everything that we just asked it to do. All right, so we want to go back up in this table with column right here. Excuse me, this table, open table tag right there, open table. That's table body, table row, table header, close table row, close table body, close table. All right, after the cell padding, we're going to hit space bar and put in a BO for border color. And we're going to pick one that contrasts with our background. All right, so my table width is in. We're all good there. Okay, so I'm going to come down here to my table header column. Remember, we did one row, one column. I'm going to put the cursor after the column tag, hit spacebar H, and put in a height of 50. Notice that my table just grew. All right, so there's my first table. At this point, I would go File, Save As, things underscore last name. Make sure it's in the Things I Love folder, and hit Save. All right, so here's my first table that we just put in. So I'm going to go after the close table tag, hit enter 3 times. I'm going to insert another table. Insert table again. This time it's 3 rows, 2 columns. Everything else stayed the same. Hit OK. There's my second table. So if I come down here, here's the first table. Here's the second table we just put in. 1 row, 2 rows, 3 rows, 2 columns. All right. In this second table, I also want to put in a border color. So spacebar B, O. Border color, I want that same green. There's my border color. And now I'm going to adjust the height of my rows. So here's my first row. TR, table row, spacebar H. Height, 200. Go to my second row. Spacebar. Height, 200. Go to my third row. Spacebar. Height, 200. All right. Now I want to adjust the columns. So I'm going to go in this. There's my first row, my first column. Spacebar. Width, W, 700. And I do the same thing there. And the same thing there. Okay. All right. Now one last thing before we get done with this part. We're going to put in background colors in 3 of these boxes. So if you click in the cell where you want to put in a background color, I click in here. Notice it picks the table for me. And notice where the cursor is. Click there. Click. All right. Look where the cursor is in my code. It's right here. It tells me this is the table I'm concerned about. So if I come up here in the table in this column, right after the width, spacebar B. By the way, if you pick a color and you like it, hit the plus and it'll add it. All right, so there's the color there. 2 more boxes. One in this box. That means I'm going to put the color right there. And one more time in this box. File, save as, put it in all the right spots, hit save.